Hey guys, this is your High Fist here with a short but juicy video. As always, thank you to Steven Erickson for sharing and almost commenting on my last video. I have something a little different today, guys, because even though we are in the middle of our Quick Ben lecture series, I did get an idea for a video and I wanted to sort of break the monotony using this. I was in a conversation with the Malas tuber Quick Jen. I'm sure most of you know who she is. If you don't, you have to go subscribe to her channel. It's the best Malas Tube channel that's come out in a long time. Maybe the best Malazan channel ever, going by the quality of the video so far. So I was having a conversation with her on Discord, and we were talking about original or creative Malazan videos, right? Because at this point, there are literally hundreds of Malazan videos that we have on YouTube alone. And no, I'm not exaggerating. I mean that literally. I actually typed in Steven Erickson and Malazan on YouTube, and I stopped by the time I got to 200 because I was like, listen, if it's more than 200, I can just say hundreds and hundreds. So even with 200, the list wasn't over. It just kept going on and on. So there are literally hundreds of videos on Malazan right now, which is weird when you think about it, that just a year and a half ago, there was almost nothing online. And it almost seems like the variety and the vastness of Malas Tube is a real force to be reckoned with, right? It's something that we can all be pretty happy with, I guess, for those of us who've been craving for Malazan content in a long time. So whether it's character analytical pieces like Quick Gen, or collabs with Ishka, or analytical pieces by Dr. A.P. Canavan, overall book reviews by Dr. Philip Chase, the sort of quick series read-through that Raf is doing, or the chapter-by-chapter breakdowns, first-time reader breakdowns by Christine Wallerstad, or even the sort of the detailed Steven Erickson interviews by Claudia, right? In terms of range, in terms of what we have at our disposal at the moment, Malazan fans are quite lucky. We all have so much excellent content that's being put out by really intelligent and brilliant people. Of course, I wouldn't put myself in that category, but I'm sure some of you will, right? So in essence, I just wanted to break down what I thought were are the rather 5 most original, innovative, creative Malazan videos on YouTube. These are not necessarily what I consider to be the most analytical or the best ones or whatever, but in terms of creativity and innovation, these are my 5 favorite Malazan videos, and I hope you check them out as well, because with the exception of one YouTuber on this list, the rest of them, their channels, if I'm not mistaken, are slightly smaller than mine. So I urge all my subscribers to check out their content as well, right? So with that being said, let me give you my top 5. At number 5 is, I hope I'm saying his name right, Jagger Semla, right? He has a video on Kalam's fighting style, a half an hour video just focusing on Kalam's fighting style. I thought that was brilliant. Just the idea. I love it when I just see titles and my mind gets blown, and I ask myself why I didn't think of that, and I get really jealous because I didn't think of that. And this is certainly one of them, because it's easy to do a Kalam character breakdown in half an hour, right? But just the thought and the idea of breaking it down and looking at his fighting style alone, I thought was brilliant. The entire video is entertaining from start to finish. It's clear that he has a lot of knowledge in terms of mixed martial arts and martial arts in general. So it wasn't just some noob ranting for half an hour. It was a very well thought and interesting video about Kalam's fighting style, how it fits into the Malazan world, and things like that. So full credit to Jagger Semla for that. I love that video. He has done a lot of other videos as well. I think he even posted one about the whole controversy thing. As you guys know, your High Fist is not a big fan of posting videos on YouTube controversies and things like that. but that video still to me is his standout one. And if the videos that he does in the future are anything like that Kalam one, I would say this guy will be certainly one of the best Malas tubers. There's no question about it. So that's my number 5. At number 4, I have Ola the Reading Witch, if I'm not mistaken. She did a video, a tarot reading for the Malazan Book of the Fallen, which once again was like, whoa, right? Because the best, the most original videos I personally feel are the ones that only the person who made them can do it. So with the Kalam fighting style video, I think Jagger's the only one in the Malazan community who could have done that video, who had the knowledge and the thought process to do that video. Similarly here, Ola the Reading Witch, because of her own taste and because she knows a lot about these different systems and things like that, it was such a fascinating video, and in some cases I would say even a surprisingly accurate, in some cases, right, surprisingly accurate prediction. It's all for fun, clearly, right? But the uniqueness of it, because you need to have, imagine, think of all the different things that have to sort of converge, so to speak, for a video like that to happen, right? You need to be knowledgeable about the tarot system. You need to have a YouTube channel where you talk about books like the Malazan Book of the Fallen, which itself is kind of unique. And you also need to have the confidence to put that out there, right? Because it takes, in my opinion at least, quite a bit of courage to be able to put that, to be able to kind of share that with the audience. And from start to finish, once again, very, very interesting, fascinating video, I must say. Even though I'm not a sort of, I'm not a subscriber to that particular belief system or ocular system or whatever you want to call it, I really enjoyed it, and I urge all of you to check it out as well. So that's my number 4. Number 3 is a video that doesn't really require a shout out from me, but this is my top 5, so I've got to be honest here. Just because it's from a big YouTuber, I can't just throw it out, right? So it's Andy's postmodern video, the famous or infamous postmodern video on Malazan. One of my favorite things about it, and I think I've mentioned this many times before as well, is that Andy doesn't just take the easy way out where he just starts with why Malazan is postmodern and just gives us a bunch of examples and tells us, oh yeah, it's postmodern, now move on to the next video, click on like and subscribe. He doesn't do that easy stuff. He takes us through the history and the journey of postmodernism, and he then brings in the Malazan Book of the Fallen, and he fits it all into one specific framework. And it's a very compelling, convincing argument that the Malazan Book of the Fallen is a great example of postmodern literature in the fantasy genre. Of course, I don't agree with all the conclusions in that video, and many of you will know this because I did an entire video about why Malazan is not postmodern as far as I'm concerned. But still, that is probably, and this was posted before there was a Malas Tube, right? This was probably the first real, I would say, Malas Tube style analytical video on the internet, a post-series discussion on some major thematic issue. This was, as far as I know, one of the very, very first ones. And the production values, the editing, there's more production values and editing in that one Andy Smith video than the entire Ruth and Bad channel put together. Of course, I don't set the bar that high in terms of technical skills, but you get what I mean, right? So please go check it out. It's weird in the sense that you don't even need to be a hardcore Malazan fan to be able to enjoy that video that he made. Even if you're just someone who likes to find out more about philosophy, if you're interested in postmodernism, if you're interested in literature in general, the fantasy genre in general, it is an excellent, excellent video. So please check it out. That's my number 3. Number 2, Graceless Passion's recent video on the crossing, the Sekala crossing battle in the Chain of Dogs sequence in Deadhouse Gates. It's got maps, it's got animation. Whoa, did you just hear that right? A Malazan video with maps and animation. Yes, guys, it exists, and it doesn't have as many views as it should. You guys need to check it out. That battle and that entire set piece, the Sekala crossing battle, is one of the most difficult for ordinary readers to grasp. And even though I've always enjoyed it, I've had a hard time breaking it down for just general readers because of all the technical terms involved. And once again, like Andy, Graceless doesn't just take the easy way out and just give us the battle, right, and the breakdown of the battle. He also sort of gives us some technical knowledge before he gets into that. So we all know what a Ford is, obviously, but how many of us know what an oxbow is? He breaks it down once again with quotes from other people, with drawings and animation and things like that. And once you see that video, you will get such a accurate sense of how exactly the chain of dogs function and how exactly Coltrane as a military leader function. That was so original. This idea of Graceless has used animation in his videos before. So even if you look at his famous Felicin video, there was a little bit of animation there, but that was more to explain character motivation and things like that, right? But Malazan is a series where we need more videos like the one that I just mentioned, where we have these visual representations that move around and that really break down for us what really happened. And the fact that this guy was crazy enough to not only try it, but that the madman actually did it, I thought was so impressive. I don't think anyone else would have been able to do it the way that he did, right? So once again, a hallmark of all 4 videos that I've mentioned so far, whether it's the Kalam one or the tarot card one or the postmodern one, because Andy's a philosophy student, if I'm not right, and this one by Graceless, they are the only ones in the whole of not just MalasTube but YouTube who could have done it. And it's a great example of content creators using their own personal experiences and expertise and hobbies and interests and channeling that into dissecting the Malazan books, right? So props to Graceless for that. That is my number 2. Number 1, what I consider to be the most creative, innovative Malazan video on the internet, on YouTube. I think most people who've known me for a while, particularly on Discord, would know this. Number 1 is, of course, Kala Singh's Coldplay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I just want you guys to go watch it. It's quite short, right? It's just a short clip. It's a really good and kind channel. Once again, come on, how does this fucking guy only have about 200 subscribers? I don't get it, right? He's been doing it for a long time. His content is always first class. His Malazan knowledge is always first class. But more than all that, the pinnacle of Cal's sort of creative juices is in Kala Singh's Coldplay. The lyrics, the music, the cuts, the concept, the voices, right? It's all just so, in my opinion at least, perfect. And everybody has to see that, whether it's Steven Erikson or Ian Esselmott or any of you Malazan readers, or I mean, maybe Malazan non-readers wouldn't really get why the lyrics are funny, but anybody who's read the Malazan books has to check it out. And once again, Cal has an interest in music. He has an interest in playing the guitar and stuff like that. And it's an example of a creative person with his or her own individual specialties and hobbies that they are now channeling into this, right? So that is, in my opinion, the most creative Malazan video on the internet. Kala Singh's Coldplay. I mean, come on, who would have come up with that? Who except Cal would have come up with this idea of, hey, why not make a video called Kala Singh's Coldplay, where it's essentially a Kala song, right? So those are my 5 videos, guys. I told you this was going to be shorter than my usual ones. This was unscripted as well. I will put up links to all these videos on the description. I hope you guys check them out. I hope you guys give them a lot of love. I've always enjoyed creativity. I've always been a person who really likes it when people try to be innovative, when they try to do new things, fun things, when they break out of their sort of comfort zone and they give all of us new things that we wouldn't have considered, right? They give us content that no one else could have made, and they give us content that is so unique in its flavor that we can enjoy them over and over again. So those are my top 5 unique Malazan videos, guys. I'll see you soon in a couple of days for the third lecture in the Quick Bend series. Until then, take care, thank you, and I'll see you again.